Okay, here we are. We're rolling, and we're with Dutch McGrath of Amusement Products, and we're here at booth 2431. And this year, Dutch has a brand new attraction for the amusement industry called ThunderVolt Race. ThunderVolt. I've been doing this all day, but I'm going to continue now. It's ThunderVolt Speedway, the racing experience. Dutch, tell us a little bit about ThunderVolt.
Well, basically, we've been asked for years, electric cars perform much better than gas. The one thing that everybody'd asked for was we want it to sound like an engine. We want to hear the engine noise. They like to hear the roar of it as you accelerate. Well, instead of just duplicating a go-kart engine, we've created something that's called a computer-generated engine noise. It actually emulates a true NASCAR engine. So instead of hearing a go-kart, you hear an engine that's a race car engine accelerate and decelerate whenever the car moves. But that technology actually took us to a whole nother level of pieces on the car. And instead of just stopping there, we went a lot further. We said, okay, after a while, that'll get kind of boring. How do we make this to be a lot more exciting for your average teenager or 20-something today? Well, today, when you're playing a video game, yeah, you're sitting on the couch, but you have the track announcer announcing the flags and telling you when to go, the greens go, and the checker flags at the end. So that's actually already integrated in the system. A professional announcer comes on, starts the race, tells you the safety message is what it's known as, but it's called a driver's instruction in a format like they're talking to you as a race car driver in your car. Then they start the race by having the green flag out, drops the green flag, releases the speed of your car so you run at race speed. Generator comes on, starts to accelerate as you accelerate. But in addition to that, you also have a music bed, just like they have in the video games, which is kind of a thumping technotronic music that's got a little high energy to it that also kind of helps, gives you a better experience than just an engine noise. Think of playing in your car, it's kind of like adding a radio, except it's not a musician. But really where the vocal comes in is your own pit crew chief. You've got a crew chief that comes in and gives you tips of how to race better, how to pass cars, tells you when certain things are going on the track. If you have a yellow flag out, tells you about the yellow flag and slowing down. So it's constantly giving you a race feel experience until the checker flag drops at the end of the race. Right. So constantly kind of pushing you into a real world video game experience while you're actually driving the go-kart.
It sounds fantastic, but it's all on board the cart individually. At this point, there's nothing that's interactive with the track so that they know when you come around a specific corner that a certain voice file should be pulled?
No, it's really more, at this point, designed to help what you're doing in your car. You know, if you're passing a point on a track, there's nobody outside, you going, hey man, you passed turn 2. Your pit announcer may make some of those comments, but those are more just kind of aesthetics like you'd have in a video game. Right. What's happening that's exactly matching it is your operation feature. You accelerate, you hear the car accelerate, you decelerate, it decelerates, you run your turbo. So one of the unique things about our electric car, they got a button right on the steering wheel. Like in the Fast and Furious and NOS system, you punch it, you instantly get a burst of speed. They get that in this car. Your pit crew chief tells you, hey man, you need to use that turbo to get around the car. You punch that, your onboard thing starts speeding up, the car accelerates 20%, you pass around, and it keeps going. And of course, when it ends, it tells you turbo deactivated, letting you know that you're going back to normal race speed. Hopefully you're already around somebody by that point. So this is all going on, kind of giving you a much more active inner race, but using components we've always had on the electric cars, just really hyping it for the driver to give them a lot better feel for the race.
Cool. So we're standing beside this this beauty here. Can you give us a little pull of what the engine actually sounds like, or?
Sure. This is just one layer. This is what everybody thought would be the best for electric car, which is just a motor generator. Okay. And it's a computer-generated duplication of an actual NASCAR engine.
So here we go. Okay. So very cool, as you're accelerating, you get the sound of the engine.
And it makes, it's a very loud sound, but of course you've got speakers right behind your head. So just like you're sitting in a NASCAR, it's a very loud sound. One of the toughest things for us to do was monitor that sound at a level where I could still hear my pit crew chief, the track announcer, the music bed going underneath it all. So I got that interactive feel. And we actually have an onboard mixer that automatically balances all those sounds out to give me the messages I need to hear when I need to hear them. Functionally, from an operations standpoint, I've just taken the not-so-bright 16-year-old that I hired at minimum wage and made him into a NASCAR pit specialist. He hits a button, everything on the system does automatically what you would hope a top-notch DJ could do for you on an actual racetrack. So as a result, you're getting a whole lot better experience, and all the messages are actually built in and professionally produced to put on the cars themselves.
So what's this we have here?
Well, basically, this is the total operations order. It's actually duplicated by our main computer. The whole system is a complete wireless operation. From the start of the ride, to the releasing of all the messages, to the operation of the car, to even letting a driver have his own car go in reverse if they spun out, all can be operated by the attendant right here from the box.
Nice.
When they start the race, they push one button, which is this one. The cars are actually sitting at idle, or really not even idle, they're off. And the announcer for the track comes on, tells them a few safety messages, which you need to do for liability reasons, but as if you're a racer. Then they say, racers, start your engines, which if anybody's a race fan, they realize that's how they start a NASCAR race. All the cars are sitting in pit row waiting. From that point on, it allows the cars to start leaving the pit. As they're leaving the pit, they hear part of their safety announcement. As soon as they clear the pit, they hear the balance of the safety announcement, and the announcer actually start the race. So it allows them to get what used to be an in-the-pit time period actually in the car, moving around the track, but at a 2-mile-an-hour safe speed in a pace lap. That's what they call it in race terms. So we're really trying to duplicate a true race experience, and my attendant has no skills here. All he did was push the one button.
Cool. And so they're getting a little bit more value for their money as well, not just in the experience, but the overall time they've spent in the car.
Well, it does really two things. Absolutely gives them a better value for the money. At the same time, it increases my ability to reduce my cycle time. Cycle time is how many bodies I can run through in my carts in an hour. And because I used to have a 1-minute message and then start the race, which was typically 5 minutes, then I'd have time getting them in and out of the car. Now that 1-minute message is actually happening out on the track while they're getting used to the steering, but at 2 miles an hour where they're safe. And then the engine, the customer, the track announcer actually counts down the start of the race, give you plenty of warning, releases the speed, off you go when the green flag's dropped, and off you go racing. So it makes it a very safe but very effective use of its time, and once again helps it make it a little more efficient for the high volume operators.
Well, that's good stuff. And again, we've been here with Dutch McGrath of Amusement Products and the ThunderVolt Speedway new go-kart attraction. Check them out online at amusementproducts.com. Thanks for your time, Dutch.
Thank you. Appreciate it.